Right now, you don't even recognize the Ghana Police Service. You have a policeman following you and guarding you every single day. That has been legitimately put together. You could not state one law. You could not base your statement on one law to say the process from day one to the day to today, it has been flawed. You could not state one law. Did you abuse it? That is the question. But what she did was that she lumped the troubles together. Look about you not taking bribe. It is your conduct. Your conduct can influence a lot of things, especially from where you sit.
All right, I'm seeing my movie be a papa. Now I'm from Brambega TV and platform with ESO. Digim. Kevin Tailor. And why then waki can be actually Mame Anaba Seki Torkonoo Gertrude Araba Chief Justice suspended. In fact, so Makaya and drama men ebe press conference. Now Chimua and go for friend we see retire and I say ye then resign. And draw the same baby babonti. Now no see ya and a fellows of Usukwachi. Government, communications spokesperson na de or no ye or kasama bino. In fact, Oran so a babachire mu se obian friend wa bemu and canchen some funny demand to ho. It is handsome now walk can yin nano. Ebio individual be but a bino and bia a juma some friend and canchen some retire now ye day. When I Kevin Tailor tell at you say her. Mami wan kasakwa no ye yuda dada upe your former yenkoti nsema Kevin Tailor editu jawa destroy everything yenkoti no yekoba betos
tibia me dona nanom egigim esi ni nyina efa eye osono maame Madam Torkonoo and the former Chief Justice they be my friend the former Chief Justice about for ntiase because oye former oye de obeye bi oye former de obeye bia she's still the former Chief Justice enko bi bia. And the mami way a press conference. Na debia yebusa. And then there's yebusa question and say, Madam Torkonoo and the press conference or no. Na sa press conference no. A press conference. And I say a speech. And I say a call for help. Because what I saw today, TV so what I witnessed, I saw a woman who was holding on to straws. A woman who could not allow her ego to tell her the truth. A woman who has been embroiled in arrogance. A woman who feels Ghana revolves around her. So, what I saw when I was listening to Torkonoo today, I watched her deep. The words she was saying there, I knew the majority were made up. It was just grammar. But I watched this woman very, very deep. I saw a woman who was disturbed, a woman who feels that she needs to be protected, even though she knows she has committed a crime. A woman, who will say she is unique than any judge, any Ghanaian. A woman who feels so entitled. That is what I saw today. A woman who tried to tell us, say, we are stupid. Why are we not defending her actions? So what I saw pettiness. I felt sad. I saw arrogance that has destroyed a fine woman. I saw the depletion of intelligence, whereby arrogance had destroyed a woman who could have let the storm, who could have just stepped away from a storm she created herself. I felt bad. I felt pity for her. I felt so sad. I saw arrogance. I saw pain. And I saw what I call a cry for help. The press conference says speech say a cry for help now you're sharing in there. This is the biggest sad story we have witnessed in our history as a republic. One of the saddest Kumewood stories, one of the hurtful stories in our history as a nation. I saw a woman who is drowning in arrogance. Drowning in arrogance. There's water in her mouth, water in her nose, water in her eyes. She knows she can just let her arrogance go and she will live. And arrogance slowly drowning Torkonoo. I felt bad. I felt bad because I don't know what power they to me a yamanipa. de nipa entumi ntena ase ntia se to me yambo bia fa to me anhye nsem nipa na de to me hye nipa nsem. I felt bad. At a point I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed because the honorable lady that people thought she was, today she exhibited the highest form of politics. We have known this lady as a judge, as a neutral. Today she even tried to taint our history, all because of arrogance, selfishness, all because she feels so entitled. That is what I saw. I saw sadness. And she has created this for herself or upon herself. She's holding on to arrogance. She's holding on to entitlement. Leave it and you will float. She says no. And that thing she's holding on to will kill her. It will destroy every single thing that makes her who she is. Whatever she represented. Today, this woman has drowned with it. It's terrible. It's sad. It's hard to watch. Now, and osono maame eye Madam Torkonoo obekasa bebre, and I will take my time and explain to you the ama maame way I one of the most dangerous individuals in Ghana. You know, sa asem si na say ye kan asem, what you need to do is to make sure, especially say mra ena we ra himfie ena ye ka asem wa himfie. It does not matter how impedifo no moti asem no ho e ka asem no. The least or the worst thing you can do, and I say you are not supposed to do, ade ni say we ye ni say obe step out of asem na ye kana himfie ko gina bontene ato ayampia. And that is what we saw today. That is what we witnessed today on our TVs. And to say you can't someone himfie impedifo atnase obi eniwa impedifo etoto ano, if we say we ni patitiru wo krom oni na ti kro we mu yenim se we ni patitiru asem abeda ho yenim se ye de mra ne di asem enti ohene krampo amfre ekromwofo, if we say omo pese omo bo ho ban enti asem ne beto ho na asem nkofa ne mra na membo de wuro fre busua panyi bra fre ochiame bra fre odikro bra fre ahemfo miensa beka me ho na yentie na asem, if we say oye nipa titiri wo krom ha. The reason why our hene yes and say on pese nipa domo wo krom no empo beti kukom asem a sempo udi for kra na on pese mo beti, if we say de waye ene ugina bre no eho ena ohene no ana ekrom penifo no e protect enti ye de asem wura himfie a sebio asem wura himfie a amra eda ho enti te say asem da himfie a maami we impedifo atnase omo ye bibia say asem no mo kan krampo no enkwa abontene asem no mo kan krampo no say bia egu ne ho fi a enkwa abontene maami we epie kogina ahimfie na abontene na auto ayampia na ayampia na no auto no ene den. She was trying to denigrate ekuro no, trying to denigrate ohene no, trying to denigrate ahemfo na ya from no mabetena kokom ene ne ka asem no kode no. She was trying to make them look bad in the eyes of the villagers. That is what Torkonoo did today. It is a asem sa si de na ya opese omo moti asem no so no omo ye obesa akotena omunim se ye nto asem no so ana se ahemfie ho unwura ho biem na obeko fia koda. That is the question I'm asking this woman. This woman has lost it. I respect her a lot, but what I saw was the lowest point of a woman who wants to be respected as a woman who is resolute. Torkonoo the chair and then says she's resolute. It does not mean say she is a woman who can stand on her ground. What I saw today is a woman who is still holding on to arrogance, entitlement, a woman whose own deeds are drowning her, but she's refusing to let it go to save herself. Torkonoo is murdering sleep. She is not able to sleep no more because she herself is murdering sleep. That is what I saw today in this woman. And that is what I witnessed. I felt bad. I felt bad. This was just a joke. It was so embarrassing. It was like you are watching some comedy. Now, team, stay with me. And yeti se Madam Torkonoo a ogina committee enim a yetoto nano amano asama abeda ho se we ye nyome bia sebio entwaye as the Chief Justice, and that those things ye busa no ho asem me na wokasa ye kasa sisia no the Chief Justice Madam Torkonoo obia ni Ghana wa accuse no of a crime or condemned her. Obia ntina bebia enka say she's guilty of any crime. Say a frau ebegina ahimfie na obia wa no ka say me ama me akwesi me kwame me ya me ekọ me nya kromfo a, then it means you are doing something that you don't want us to know. And the mami we ye and ensema efri ne numu baye. Clearly it clearly gives you an idea, say she still does not respect the rule of law. This is the Chief Justice we are talking about. Now, nyoma miensa nende Torkonoo baye se obabeye. Time of fre se press conference se speech so cry for help adem miensa oba so obeye. One, what she tried to do today was to present the government and the NDC, a political party, as a party that is against judges. Opese not opese or present NDC abino. Any NDC party to say a party omuku judges. This woman, that's what she came to do. She came to do politics. If you are not intelligent, if you are not smart, if you don't understand communication, you wouldn't know what she was trying to do. 90% of the things she came to say are trash. But then she had an agenda. And the agenda was that, let me take Ghanaians back. Let me make Ghanaians understand. Let me create something in the head of Ghanaians say, I am also a judge. Mokai NDC for ya can send ya to almost say omoku judges pain. So the damage na oba so be no. San nyoma bebrebe na okan na ehia no. Na our agenda 3 and a good table so oba so be or a pure politician. Into the first thing she tried to do was to make people think or believe, create the perception say NDC a party no. Oh, omoku judges, omope judges asem, and she at this point is somebody who is suffering from the same fate. Judge Fobina Yukuomono almost suffer. That's what she came to do. That was first. Second, now she wanted to incite we, the citizens who are ready to listen to the fact and follow the process through. She wanted to incite us against Puaman, who is a colleague judge. What she wanted to do was that she wanted other judges and people in the judiciary to see Judge Puaman as somebody who is working against the judiciary. The second agenda was that now I am going to present myself in a way, I'm going to try and present Puaman in a way to look like he is the snitch. He is the one who is stabbing me in the back. He is the person who is behind the scenes orchestrating all this. And that judges Monte, the judiciary Monte, you all should come to my side. And that Puaman, the NDC, they are using him to destroy me and you. And it's all TN in Semnibia. He was trying to generalize the heat, to send some threats and some kind of warning to the judges now. Sebio Omaedin study the process and say, Yebekume, but Yasesa Ochnebekum. Secondly, she came out to hang Puaman, who is her colleague. And remember, Judge Puaman, he is also following the same Article 146. Emma Yahukwain, Emma Dien, Yama sa process where you Juma Amiakusi DC. Remember, Torkonoo Ebesinde. With D4 nobody has pronounced her guilty in any of the deliberations, the committee, the whatever. Put that in your head. But you see, today she was speaking as if she's guilty. She was speaking as if she has been condemned. She was speaking as if, say, today, but as we speak, Torkonoo is still or she still has the right to defend herself. The third agenda or the bar and the is simple. Play the victim role or play the sympathy card. She came with a lot of makeup. She came to present herself, her face, what she did today. So why a communication now? And summer she could have sent it out as a presser or as a statement for us to read. But deliberately, what she did today was that she wanted to play the victim. She was in black. From the Nazi Ebesin Triso, she was in black. She was sending a message. I am being victimized. Mina Metiano, please help me. She was begging for sympathy. She came there to act, to play the victim. But she has not been condemned yet. She's not guilty yet. But she came out to portray this picture there. You, me, Emi, Torkonoo. Some people are after me. They want to finish me. They want to destroy me. I have built a good life. Why do they want to do this to me? So what she did, these three things, if you are very smart, you will know what she did. She has sat down to think through what she did today. She could have released a statement for us to get that copy, read every single thing, but she decided to use her face. Because what she wants to do, she wants to put her face out there, and then that face will be circulated. These videos will be circulated to talk for her. She wants to take over the committee's job. She wants to take over the thinking of the Ghanaian now on Am Street. So if you get a piece of her video, you can now make a deduction and make a conclusion and say, that's what she wanted. And that is what she created today. Until she came as a widow. She was in black in everything. Draw session black. With all due respect. She knew what she was doing. She sat down with some people. They drafted her drama today. Now, let's go into something else. So far, what did the American say? Now, Yebabe caught Nensema Okan Munde. What Madam Torkonoo today started saying, or started from a year, the venue, can't semono. When she started speaking, she said, venue can't semono, a venue bia, a intimidating, a shen so. Let's go listen to Madam Torkonoo.
The Edu Lodge facility. The Edu Lodge facility that the hearings are being conducted in featured very prominently in the planning of the murder of judges on June 30th, 1981. And this can be read about in the special investigative report on that terrible event in our nation's history. It will be recalled that there was a Major Samakwa, a military officer who was killed with the 3 High Court justices, who was a director of human resource of GEHOC. He was my uncle and my guardian when I entered the University of Ghana in September 1980. I was also living with him at the time he was abducted and murdered. Was Edu Lodge chosen for my inquiry to make me feel insecure? I think so. And I continue to hold the view that there's no reason why a judicial hearing is being conducted behind the high walls of Edu Lodge.
So, my man said, one, I'll say in till date, now about 99.9% of Ghanaians, 99.9% of Ghanaians, na yenim bebi a eye sa committee no ene maami we Asia. But what did she do? What she did was she first came out to tell us about where the meeting is happening. What is she trying to do? She's trying to let us know the location. So one, she's exposing the committee members. Mamencho Edu Lodge in any. This is the building. But you see, in her video, she made it sound like some small bunk be. Now the Dankweku for the MPP. They renovated it before election 2024. Election no elu omuluzia no mujato. The Edu Lodge na okase. Omo shada the case ni ko so onko because nane wo fa bi on ne tenaye na oyeso genia ye ku judges bia na oka no na omo pese okai ni wo fa ni wuo. This is the Edu Lodge. Now ask yourself, why would she start from here? One thing she wanted to do, she wanted to blow the cover of the committee where the committee meets. She wanted Ghanaians to know, say, aha, and if you're a bad person and you hate what is happening, if you hate poor man, if you hate those committee members, this is where you have to come. She was sending a red signal. You and I, do we care about where this hearing is happening or was happening? No. The government did everything possible to keep it away from us. But why do you think this woman will start by exposing where the meeting is happening? Because opese odi obia okasa committee no ho and anyone involved opese odi omo to a very difficult position mu. She is breaking the security down. What this woman is doing, she is basically calling for help. If you want to attack these people, if you want to come burn the place up, if you want to come shoot, this is the place to come because this is where it is happening. So these are the codes she was sending. Because to bring Edu Lodge into this matter and to tell us to say, that is what you think, that means that is not the fact. Because Obusa question say, it's maybe I'm the core meeting no. I don't know person me kai me ofa yeku no any ade ana and the ebia sa na medwene, meaning she herself, she cannot prove say that is the reason why sa meeting no was put ewa anase ka say omonye no Edu Lodge. What she was doing, she was trying to incite the people who support her, who are hooligans, people who want to attack the committee members, people who want to come there. The person here say she needs people to come there, amass out there, and start demonstrating. That is what she's doing. She's giving them codes. She's telling them, "Sanko from committee so person who mo nyina mombra Edu Lodge. Mo be demonstrate into ochina no pa. Ye be on nipa 2000 egwo a demonstration around a castle ha." It is because the woman has given the green light. She has exposed every single member of that committee. Because you ask yourself, why would she bring Edu Lodge into this? She's the Chief Justice. She's leading. She's indirectly leading people. She's indirectly giving a signal. Onya smarter. And right now as we speak, every committee member, their life is at stake. Menoka say, so be person obo be true, or be person or attack any of the committee members are. The only place they are heading is Edu Lodge area. It does not matter the security around. Right now, that place is not safe. That is what Torkonoo was doing. She's inciting her base, telling them the location. And it's not but let's keep it here. Now, now before we move ahead, and I say I want to ask this woman, say, before our Omiti committee, did she take an oath? And if she took an oath, what does the oath tell her? What does it tell her? In fact, did she take an oath before the proceedings? And I am very sure, say, she took oath, or she has been taking oath every single day before the committee sits. Now, what did the oath, or what was the reason for her taking an oath? It was for her to protect the secrecy of the committee hearing. It was for her to protect the secrecy of the committee hearing. When the committee started hearing this woman's case, at a point she went to Supreme Court. Why didn't she do a press conference in public before going to the Supreme Court? But even though she knew that the committee, they had given all her rights, she knew that she has every right to go to court, to allow her legal team to go to court. She knew she was under oath. So what did she do? She did not come out to publicly tell Ghana for say, this is what is happening to me. But what she did is, she knows the law. So she tasked her lawyers or her counsel to go to the Supreme Court. Why do you think if today, Opesoko High Court, why would she do a press conference on TV? What has changed? Because this is the same woman who adhered to the oath na oteki, and she knew say the beginning, say nkobeye press conference say we boom raso. Now suddenly something has changed. She has decided to flout the law. Sa oath no oteki we break it and waba bontrabe press conference and obeka kire say oko high court. Now say nkopesoko high court I didn't want to ask my lawyers. It's the first time, no, or smart or more call Supreme Court. No. Why do we need a TV, this jamboree paparazzi thing? There's a reason why she's doing this. There is a reason why Torkonoo today did this. She want to blow the country up. 3 things not to buy. 1, to present the NDC as a party that kills judges. Secondly, to tell Ghanaians to say, the judge sitting on the case, poor man, any other judges, they are ganging up against her. And 3, she wanted to play the victim. Sympathy card. And until the end, Obeka Chere or TV to say, may you call High Court. But the first time I call Supreme Court, one TV so I'm a caboose, I was adding that. It means she knows the law. She knows what she's doing today is unconstitutional. She knows she's breaking the law. But she presented it in a way where now but analyze ya say or kanokre. What changed for her to come and say today, dear, I will not send my lawyers, but I am coming to speak. She could have even released a statement, but she didn't do it. So ask yourself, why did she do that? She's playing on the minds of Ghanaians. She's dragging us along. She wants us to be her lawyers. She wants to move the committee's job into the public domain. She wants to politicize the committee's report that is being guided by the Constitution. Because whatever is happening at the committee, she is struggling to answer the questions. Now she's playing rough. So she's now taking the case, she's putting it in the public domain, she's playing politics with it. She knows that is the only way that maybe she can get her MPP people to speak for her. Now, Osaka Sembi, benya abotre na me we because me pesa Ghana for the Torkonoo ye no. Or say, if CJ is removed this way, everyone else is at risk. Or say, behind me is every judge and every commissioner or head of an independent institutional body in the country. If this model of removal can be tried on the Chief Justice, it can be repeated with everyone. I am not countering these processes for myself, but on account of leadership burden I carry. Or say, the idea mendeno, Sebio, me a Chief Justice, and the AM say, a betuma to judge bia, a betuma to penini bia or die a banye jumanu bia, inti or somebody say, and young men a me kwama me home. Now me catch them say, you bet to be the judge for the question here is, this statement you are making, since say Madam Torkonoo case we buy, they are former judges in Ghana. They are former statesmen in Ghana. They are former lawyers in Ghana. She told us today she has been in this business for over 30 years. Why do you think even judges who are not now practicing actively, who are on pension, lawyers who are not practicing now, who see themselves as statesmen, why do you think you have not seen any of them officially come out to defend Torkonoo? Ask yourself why. Have you heard any former Supreme Court judge step out to share their opinion in defending Torkonoo? Have you heard any of them? Nobody. Is it not interesting? Because those people who were there before Torkonoo came, I don't think they are all crazy or they are all NDC. At least somebody will be reasonable enough to say, no, I also know the law and I also have been in this position before. Why do you think we've not gotten any former Supreme Court judge, even one, to step out to defend Torkonoo? Because they have studied the law and they have seen that there is nowhere in the Constitution that has been breached. From the presidency to the Council of State to this committee, those judges sitting at home, the retired judges, those who are statesmen, they have looked through and they have monitored the process. There's nowhere in this process that the law has been breached. So when she speaks like this, now what she is doing is she is dragging all these people into it. Technically, they are all against me. I don't think the former judges, the former lawyers, majority of the statesmen and all that in Ghana, they will all be against you. They are not defending you because no law has been broken. No law in this country has been broken when it comes to you, this process that you are going through. Torkonoo came out, and what he came to do is to destroy and distract our judiciary and democracy. And Otis or make a statement where you ask yourself, so why haven't these people you are talking about? You want to tell me, say, every former judge, every former lawyer, every statesman in Ghana, all of them are against you being removed? No, madam. There's a problem with you. They have read through the lines. There is a problem with you, Torkonoo. And you are trying to push the blame on them. Because a retired judge, I don't even want to comment on it. If they are doing something bad like this to Torkonoo, why wouldn't I speak on it? It is because analyze the case now. Who say baby ni wa process we will be a breach rano. So this woman, whatever she's doing, she's calculating what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. And obejina okasai almost 1 hour. When to men steti emraba kwa echrese obiebu embrano so processing. This is the Chief Justice of Ghana. She could not quote one law. Or to me then in boka say the president, the committee, whoever is involved in this process, obie breach mrano. She could not quote one law, one constitutional law. To say, where in Amijina so she could not do it. This is the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. Because she knows the process is legit. The process is constitutional. She is forcing a narrative. She is creating a narrative. She is forcing you to believe in her kumewood. She knows what she's doing. She's communicating. She could have released a statement and told her lawyers to go to High Court. And why did she come on TV to do it? Why did she come to open her mouth and do it on camera? Or that conversation, she wants to be in there. She wants to direct the conversation. Now, Hadia, listen to this woman very well.
Anyone who has been to the Circuit Court or the High Court and made subject to the rules CI 47 will know that those rules never conceived that a hearing can be conducted without the claims, the defenses, and the issues being carefully laid out before the parties and accepted by all of them before a hearing starts. Ladies and gentlemen, it is this total absence of compliance with all known rules of fair hearing that has caused my lawyers to file applications for judicial review in the High Court to declare all the proceedings void. Because the clear danger is that through this flagrant violation of CI 47, and the darkness of the current proceedings being held in camera behind the walls of Edu Lodge, my lawyers and I can come to the end of the proceedings. The evidence will show that every one of those allegations in the petitions that were given to me on 27th March is unfounded and untrue. And yet, the committee can dig up some allegation from whatever documents they claim to be having from the president, which they have not shown to me, and purport to enter a recommendation for my removal on that basis. Allow me to say that this is totally unknown in the rule of law in this country. If it was lawful, I would have no reason to alert the nation of the dangers they represent, law that have forced me to bring these matters out in the light of day. The final and fourth reason for this statement is that I have heard on several occasions from loved ones, persons who care, persons who may not know me beyond my public duties, and many who think that since these proceedings seem to be carefully staged to result in my removal as Chief Justice, it would be best if I just retired or resigned rather than subject myself to an ill-motivated process. I have also received threats and veiled threats to the effect that if I fail to resign or retire voluntarily, I will be made to suffer some harm or the other.
Eti Torkonoo asema all kan nyina say o say adekudie ntia oye de oye no simple o say eye emrana omodi di asem no ono de ohu ne say emrano sibia ekwan na omonam so no enye emra so na omonam edidi asem no na okasa no say sanka emrana omofa so dia asem no sanka eye emra kwan so no omofa anka ono oni problem, but onene lawyers etuma gather enough evidence say senior committee no efa so edi djuma no eye djuma bia senior omoye no emfa kwan mu emfa mbrem into ono kura no onene lawyers ekode high court. That is what you think. San ono no dwene. It is the court that will decide, say, what is happening at the committee, the proceedings going on, whether it is constitutional or unconstitutional. It is not up to you, Torkonoo, to decide. That is why, you knowing the law, you have directed your counsel to go to the High Court. So why are you in public making the announcement to Ghanaians that you have directed your counsel to go to High Court? Because you are saying that per the evidence you yourself and your team you have gathered, a just say committee no any mrano so sankomu di mrano so dia anka wono, there's no way I will be contest ya die way. And I can say your unkofo kura omudo nipa bi kura uhu omuda nipa bi asebio omu ye nkofo bi a omu dwene ho omu no wadi nkomo say adan ntina ade we unja amane nko. And I can chom say da bi enye se ja uja amana ko ena edin na emum unim se o se emrano ye adwuma o se emrano ye di ye adwuma entina oda nkutem na se woko committee ni meeting na se wo se committee no ade omo ye na emfa mra kwan mu. Now you in your position as the Chief Justice, you know that the only place that you can make your case to prove the committee wrong or the process wrong is in the court. Why are you on TV sharing your evidence with us? Especially when you have taken an oath not to share anything that happens at the committee hearing. Well, then why do you deliberately flout the law? Why did you deliberately decide to breach or break the law to come on TV to tell us what you plan to do? Because when you plan to go to the Supreme Court, you didn't come on TV to tell us. So what is influencing this? What is influencing this, your decision of coming on TV to come and tell us what you feel, what you want to do, what you have gathered? Because what you have gathered is not automatic, or it does not justify that when you go to court, you are going to win. The evidence you have gathered does not automatically make your case better. than whoever you are taking to court. So as we speak today, your case that you have does not guarantee you a win in court. So you coming on TV to tell us, say, this is what you want to do, no, it does not exonerate you from what you have done. Any Chief Justice who wants the right thing to be done will not speak about this. She will instruct her counsel to go straight to the High Court and put a case in. The same way you did it when you went to the Supreme Court. So what changed today? It is public sympathy. You want to paint the process as a bad process. You want to instill, you want to force us to believe your narrative. The old no, and then I'll say you drag you along your sympathy journey. Yeah, she said something like this. Or say, I have received veiled threats that if I don't resign or voluntarily retire, I will be made to suffer harm. Or say, amanfobi sebio a threaten no. Nipebi sebio oma huna no. Oma so sekan etuo sebio nipebi abane so. In a form ayenim, it could be through telephone, it could be obi awatwetu won so, it could be say obi de sika begina so. Or se nipa bi ehunahuna ne say ono wan resign a sebio na se ananka se ono anka anje ne wantum and retire. Boni amubedi no Madam Torkonoo, who is the creme de la creme when it comes to Ghana judiciary ne embra e woni tim no, she has refused to go to police to make an official statement. How did the threat come? Was the threat through a telephone call? Was it through email? Was it in person? Was the threat through a gun pointing at your head? How did the threat come? Where did it come from? What exactly did the person say? Why haven't you taken the initiative to report the threat to the police, but to come on national television to tell Ghana that you have been threatened? You are a judge. You are not just a judge. You are the Supreme Court, Chief Justice of our Supreme Court. Right now, you don't even recognize the Ghana Police Service. You have a policeman following you and guarding you every single day. You don't even respect that the police can protect you. So now you want to come on TV to tell we or us that you are being threatened and that you don't know what to do as a Chief Justice. And I am very sure you go everywhere with your security man, with your police. So I don't think the threat was in person, because if it was in person, I know your bodyguard would have taken care of that person. So the threat might have been through your phone, a phone call, an email, a text message, which can be traced. No number in Ghana today, Ghana number be anywhere to be traced in Ghana and there. Was it through an envelope that was thrown in your hand? You need to let us know, because at this point, you are still the Chief Justice who is on suspension. So you need full protection of we Ghanaians. So what stopped you from going to the police to make an official statement? For the Ghana Police Service to issue a statement that the Chief Justice of Ghana has been threatened to resign or voluntarily retire. What stopped you from doing that? Now, you do all these things on TV. What are you trying to prove? You are seeking public sympathy. You are playing on the minds of Ghanaians. You have sat with this committee for days and weeks. Suddenly, you have decided to come on TV. Why? You have been to court before. When the proceedings started, you went to Supreme Court. You did not speak. You did not even come on any radio. Suddenly, to High Court, you are on national television, prime time. Why? Why? Why are you doing what you are doing? We can see through what you are trying to do. We can see what you are doing now. The process will not change. It will not collapse. The law is the law. The process is the process. Now, listen to Torkonoo. She said something. She boldly made a statement. I am confident that in my journey as a lawyer, judge, and now Chief Justice, there is no one person who can look at me in the eye and accuse me of taking a bribe to decide a case. This is the personal treasure of integrity that I live with. You don't have to tell us. We are the ones who are supposed to judge. So, for you to even come out to tell Ghana for say, menje bribe da. And a menje bribe and decide assembly da. And none idea chese mi Torkonoo. The question here is, who gives the bribe and who takes the bribe? Are you the one to judge your actions, or we are the ones to judge your actions? The office you are occupying is a state office. It's a national office. We decide your conduct. You don't decide your conduct. Now, this woman wants everything we are talking about now, and yet the committee hearing and the petition against her, she wants to trim it down to her and what she has done and what she hasn't done. Madam, you have not taken bribe. When I catch on bribe dayati. But it is not only bribe obeji and a say you have basically gone against the ethics of your job. It is not just taking bribe. If you were just taking bribe, you wouldn't be sitting in front of a committee. It goes beyond you taking bribe from somebody. It even goes beyond you thinking as a normal chief justice. Your position can even influence decisions. Do you know that? Your position as the chief justice, you don't need to ask somebody for bribe. Your daughter benefited millions of cedis from Ghanaians because of your position. We were here when your daughter, you as the chief justice, your daughter got a juicy contract of almost $500,000 just to design a room for Ghana judiciary. Your position, where you sit, you don't have to take a bribe. Your position and where you sit can influence a process. So don't limit this conversation to who you are and what I have not done. It's about the process. Were you the person who did this? Did you follow due process, the ethics of your job? Did you follow the ethics? Because your position as a chief justice, it helped your daughter to get a contract worth millions. And this is the invoice your daughter your daughter issued. And we are talking about 438,000 old Ghana cedis, almost 5 billion. And that contract was to decorate the judiciary, restaurant, and library. If it wasn't for your influence and where you sit, do you think your daughter will get this contract? No. So it is not about you taking bribe or not. It's about your conduct, how you conducted yourself. Nobody has accused you of taking bribe. Nobody has accused you anywhere for taking bribe from anybody. But your conduct, how you conducted yourself in your office, you being a chief justice alone, how did your influence affect even procurement processes at the judiciary? The same secretary your secretary, the same person who led your daughter to secure that contract, which you signed for her to make that money, you actually at the end of the day nominated that secretary, suggested the secretary to the president to make her go to the Supreme Court. It is about your conduct. It is about where you sit, where you position yourself, the damage you are doing with that your influence. What you are doing is childish. That is what we are talking about. It is not somebody walking to you and giving you money. So don't divert the substance. We are talking about your conduct. We are talking about what your position, what you used it for, directly and indirectly to benefit you. In this awoba, and your contract way, and you the one who signed this contract, you green light it, then you need to be questioned on your attitude, your ethics, and how you respect the rule of law. So, madam, it is not about you taking bribe. It is about us checking what you have used that position to do. Do you get it? And do not ever sit anywhere else and start talking about, I have not taken bribe and nobody can say you have taken bribe. Of course, we don't know. We have never mentioned anywhere that you have taken bribe. But we can talk about your conduct in the office, how it influenced decision making. And not just in favor of your daughter, it favored your secretary. These are the things we are talking about. Conflict of interest. Conflict of interest. And conflict of interest can generate into corruption. Because conflict of interest can make your daughter get a contract which she did not deserve to get. And that is corruption. You are still failing to understand. You are still not using your senses. You are making politicians mislead you. Just apply the common sense that you have. Put your emotions and your arrogance aside. Bring yourself to the adole level. Do not think we are stupid. You stood on your legs for almost an hour. Trash talk. You tried to malign the government, the presidency, malign your colleague judges. You malign a process that has been legitimately put together. You could not state one law. You could not base your statement on one law to say the process from day one to the day to today, it has been flawed. You could not state one law. But you were passing commentaries. You don't respect us. You want to play jandam with us. You are playing to the gallery. You are now putting people's lives at stake. You want people to go after people. You are now trying to drag a political party into this matter. You are bringing those tribalistic, those people who create their own history. Oh, don't you remember NDC? Today, there is a house. That is where my uncle used to stay. Madam, be focused. What you are doing is childish. It is not going to save you because the matter in front of the committee, they are looking at the facts, not how you feel. How you feel is your own property. You felt you wanted to go to high court. You can go, but it does not change the process. The process must still go on. Now, this is what she said when it came to her travels. Her travels. Traveling with my husband and daughter is part of my condition of service as Chief Justice. Yes. And you see, when she got there, Ms. Ayers, do you have her travels video for me? Let me see if I can find it. Ms. Ayers, do you have her travels for me? Yes. Let's watch this.
In 2 allegations, he's complaining that I misappropriated public funds to buy a ticket for my husband and my daughter to travel with me. In answer to this, I handed over my letter of appointment to prove that in my conditions of appointment as Chief Justice, Ghana graciously gave me 2 vacations in a year. In the Judicial Service travel policy, since 2010, the Chief Justice can never travel alone for security reasons. And the Chief Justice is always allowed to travel with a spouse or another person of their choice. So traveling on my officially given vacations with my husband on 1 occasion and my daughter for the 2nd vacation is part of the official conditions of my appointment as Chief Justice. I was also not responsible for buying the tickets in question, such that I could be said to have misappropriated the value of the tickets. Indeed, if the Judicial Service was not allowed to buy the tickets for my vacation, the remedy was for the Auditor General to surcharge me to refund the money. Anyone can check out the 2023 accounts of Judicial Service and know for themselves that there is no surcharge against me or anyone for the tickets that were purchased for my vacations. Ms. Ofori seems to be alleging that I should have traveled with my police escort alone on vacation and not a family member. And this is why he wants me removed from office. And I'm being tried or held behind the walls of Edu Lodge. Ladies and gentlemen, the question to be asked is, why would anyone demand that I go on vacation given to me as Chief Justice with my police security instead of going with my husband or my daughter? And how can this be a reason for subjecting a Chief Justice to a committee of inquiry?
So you see, when she got to her travels, what she deliberately did was that and we have done this story. She lumped it together. See, my travels. At a point, she said, the travels is part of a condition of service, which we understand. At a point, she said, travel with her husband on one occasion and her daughter on a second vacation. Now, what she tried to do was that was the beginning. As some way by an NPP for an year, she decided to lump private travels and official travels together. Official and unofficial travel. She lumped the two together into Okache Ghana for Ejuma me no. Nyome bi a wo ho say me so mitumi den ekogema home. Inti dia na kire say mintumi ni me kunu ene me ba entu kwan. Na abrante na ode me kogina committee nanim no. Osi mintumi ni me kunu ene me ba entu kwan. Emeye ma mo pa diem. Moko auditor general nkrata mu a mubehu se eye me ndeka bia anka auditor general betata me. But what she failed to tell you is say akase, oh, you are entitled to travel or travel on vacation. There is official travel, which is aban adwuma na wokoye. And your private travel, which is a wankasa and a woko akwaji wa home for leisure, for anything you want. Now what she did was she put the two together. The petitioner was telling or was questioning Agyeta Torkonoo that Torkonoo, it is true. Your condition of service nature say you can take a vacation. But the same condition of service, no, it states it explicitly. Say, when you are going on official trip, this is what you get. And when you are going on a private trip, this is what you get. So there are two pegs to one travel. Now, the travel is a big package, but within the travel, there is a private and there is the official. So, as an official capacity to work, the pegs in it are different from traveling on vacation, which is not official. She basically decided to talk about the general traveling, but she decided not to go into the kind of travel she made. She's diabolic. She knows what she's doing. And you see, Ejuma Wayache or a judge, she has read psychology. She has read what we call communication. She's able to read between the lines. Onim diobeka to confuse you, to give her what she wants. Because when you tell me that you have the right to travel as a chief justice and it's part of your condition of service, I agree with you. Even a president, he can travel. But there are some travel the president will make. They are official and some are unofficial. There are some travel the president will take some kind of pegs, and there are some travel he wouldn't be given that kind of pegs. So you need to break it down what the petitioner was asking. Not you traveling with your husband or with your guard. The petitioner was asking you the specific travels you made. What were the pegs and how did you use it? Did you abuse it? That is the question. But what she did was that she lumped the travels together. Look at me. I can travel with my husband. On one occasion with my daughter and the second with my husband. She is not being specific. She's generalizing the thing because she wants to drag you along with her sympathy. You know, she wants to go on a sympathy journey with you. She knows what she's doing. She is cracking. She's cracking. She's playing on the conscience of Ghanaians. She's buying public sympathy. It was on this show that show her travels and what the judicial audit service extra for the travels. Now judicial audit service, when they were writing the report, they were specific and they used specific statements. For official and unofficial. How can you just come and tell Ghana for say, I cannot travel with my husband and on occasion on my second? No, let us know what the petitioner is asking. The petitioner is asking specific question. Did you abuse the specific travel you made? And which travel did you make? Was it official? Did you use the right pegs? Did you abuse that peg? That is what you're asking. That is why when you were saying, say, you have not taken bribe before, I don't care about you not taking bribe. It is your conduct. Your conduct can influence a lot of things, especially from where you sit. Do not hide behind generalization of statements and making it look like what can something vague until we should fall for it. No. There's a reason why we are being specific and asking specific questions, because we demand reasonable answers. That's why I told you, say, what actually influenced you to come and do this? Because Saud himself was saying, intact. Give it to your lawyer. Don't even make a public statement. Let your lawyer go to court and defend this or and make a case for you. But what you are doing is, in the first place, now call court, Supreme Court, one TV, so other than that, the High Court, TV, so open public, to drag us with you to the court. You cannot judge this case in public. The process needs to be completed. The process. We need to go through the process. Now, thank you very much, team. Let me read this to you. This is from the Judicial Services. One who said, me read me bought the video the show. Now, when you read the Judicial Service report in the Bible, this is what they wrote. Torkonoo is diabolic. Be very careful. That woman, she's dangerous. From end of the no, she's on a mission. Now, the Judicial Service travel policy. This is the policy. Now, when you take your time and analyze the policy, thank you, team. Thank you, Mr. S. I need, how many are they? There are 3, right? Oh, there are 2. Okay, I'll read the second one. Now, they have policy. The Judicial Service, they have travel policy. Now, the travel policy, what does it say? Make sure I try Torkonoo edi. Now, let me read that. It says this. The Judicial Service travel policy, revised in 2019, outlines entitlement for official travel by judicial officers, including the Chief Justice. Key points include, the word be sure, official travel. Ask yourself why the Judicial Service travel policy, they put a word official travel there. There's a reason. It is signaling that what we are about to talk about is strictly linked to official travel. So when you go into official travel, what does it say? Official travel must be authorized by the Judicial Secretary or relevant approving authority. 2, the Chief Justice is entitled to per diem, airfare, and accommodation for official assignments. Security personnel may, so it's optional. You can decide to drop the security personnel or go with the security personnel. The security personnel may accompany the Chief Justice on official trips, especially for international engagement. All expenses must be accounted for with receipt, and any unused interest, that is advance funds, must be returned. Now you come and tell us that your travel, now you cannot travel with your husband, you cannot travel with your daughter. I'm asking you, when you traveled with your husband and your daughter, was it an official travel or was it private travel?
Brana John the Many Mahama. Our position of parliament. Na parliament na mama yewura dwo mama koye no. I think say na me free program na kakra. Obobodi no omo ehia o dignitaries omo ehia honom no. E na okobo maame ni din Chief Justice. Come and see. And near maame we edihwe no. The kind of, the gestures or the kind how we see and on fire. Echidema, that you say, Mamma way, any good intention, only any good intention, any good intention. Edima Yura John the Many Mama. In her life, one so died da. One so died da. Say John Mahama be president. One so died da. See you John Mahama be senior ba be digana subio. All of a sudden obay no. So obekaya 7th of January 2025 Rihanna also in Yerajo Mama and Mami Jeno. Then the Nima is serious as or serious as soon. Dope ya DB and Majo Mama who say, hey, what about the Amiso? Minimi, Mammy Minya de Mentor me do a diesel. But meanwhile, no, a dear we no judicial system or NDC for their some quarter. After we declare say, out of force the case, the be umbra court. Ambulance scandal, the be umbra court. The be umbra court. Jachi question, the dual citizen, any adeɛ bi ɔmo sɛ ɔyɛ Canada na adeɛ wahu saa the dual citizen passport bi no ɔma Jachi Kwesi etwie kwane even when the member of parliament ɔmo to aba yi no a ɔmo sɛ declare seat ne vacant ɔmo san kɔto aba a ɔsan win yɛ no still na maame wɔ yi ɛne Supreme Court ɔmo ayɛ baako a na ɔmo twe Jachi Kwesi anka hɔ a lot of cases. Yewura Mahama Martinemi do an investigation na Maami Torkonoo and a because omo can say this for the day you be born apre and this for the be chibiegum kopem say yeah omuma by mubio enti Maami get to Torkonoo and Abaseki never expected Yewura the money Mahama they coming back enti ayenti say ohimbre eti bra Yewura ebaye no na ne yam ehihye no ene wense wabetina ho no osu ene wabetena se ena osu ena wotiatiam ade yankofo obie no wa place call no government official eno na nra fere sofotu kwa chikan no government official ena wa place call aka kire maame ni so retire or no one kasa de busrim ka ena woka ono ankasa na watena se na wa fabricate story a fabricated story and what trans and my main in a Ghana for we send this for the tatame and this for the say and you know say wo and brand bro with the monster so you couldn't be the gatekeeper when you are shemran so you would the brand yes said ya one kasana pay and then you see your life and then you see your life and the one who life mommy get you took on and the one who life and it is sad, it is really sad. I am here so you know sir it's your neck ope say ene waye obi nka mamie akwane ne nyono kwa de sen obi nka mamie so obi nka bi menyo de menya adio because me tie nyompa nyoma metie de dilumba ya machi dede da se bejamna no high life na metie o me shatawale ne crop for de me pa o ma sen kike ba metie o monyom it on the more serious note to mame Torkonoo epe so kyerese Ghana ha na yetie no ono nko ha na ye de I mean ono nko no ye nipa we judge obetimi aye chief justice apart from that no jeni obi obetimi aye bio that is what literally she's I mean trying to tell Ghanaians enti ya suspend wa how ne say trase na process no take place trase na go through processing after processing no na say we cleaner you will come back to your post. Why all these press conferences? Why all this talking? Why all this front of face? How the big Ghana for you in your day? When say ne mama no the career I didn't see and the Gertrude and Abaseki Torkonoo ni din 5 Gertrude and Abaseki Araba Torkonoo baako 4 who did din 5 ade and cannot be any problem but nani any subaya no the treat the judiciary etime say recommend MPP former parliamentary aspirant so on be judge I mean hey now you want to say mind Boston maybe say dey build the political party with judiciary hormona it is such a person and then what one na wusu what one na say be otetiam adenya omo 80 and found this so then who she say don't get your so no dia enka by now resign Mammy Jim means baby will be on sooner than on your warm up. Jimensa, baby Jimensa will be on being country Jimensa so on your warm up. Also enchany dieba. Ubin country Madam Jimensa, the EC official said no boss my sorry, Equatina Parliament. Juma and DC for the Dino. Your mama kunyana mo mesumo maya. I'm taking it as your bona fide property and I'm with the yen yamupe. And can move far and say mo bona fide property crown and modem rani problem ni hodom. But this cruise, this crack, they take it as their own property and they I mean, omoye said your mupe. And Brano said your brane kamanye san omoye. And at the end of the day, you are expecting say they should allow you to, I mean, excuse my language, fool around. No, it is not going to happen. You see, every sector, every government institution, a moon painful no, engine and so to say electoral commission, judiciary, I think say a bit a moon in Abeko. They will go. They will go. Ombeko. What I say? It is an idea. It's a for we see macro.